Welcome to Cruise Industry News for January the 7th, 2019. This is our first episode in the new year. There's been a lot to happen through the Christmas week and past New Year's that we need to cover today. One brief announcement before we get started. As most of you know, I post videos on cruises, on cruise ships, on ports of call, and of course the cruise industry news. Starting today, we will post a cruise industry news episode every Monday. So you can just mark your calendars that will be happening every Monday starting today. So if you'd like to keep up with cruise industry news, just hit that little subscribe button in the lower right hand corner. Hit that little bell to be notified every time we get a post up, but especially on Mondays now for the cruise industry news episodes. Last week, cruise passengers aboard the Carnival Conquest were delayed several hours after a sexual assault was reported on board the Carnival Conquest, and it was investigated by police officials in Aruba. Passengers reported that the police confiscated several bags of forensic evidence, and a security guard was posted outside of one of the cabins. The last time, interestingly enough, a sexual crime was reported on a cruise ship was way back in 2016. So actually, that's pretty good history. The Coast Guard has suspended its search for Aaron Huff, entertainer on board the Royal Caribbean Harmony of the Sea, that was reported going overboard during Christmas week. He is now considered to be lost at sea. Very sad situation for Harmony of the Sea and its crew and family. Silver Sea cruise ship, the Silver Spirit, crashed into a mooring in Key West and has left the Mallory Square cruise landing dock unusable for the next 3 months. Don't worry, folks, there are 2 other cruise docks in Key West, so ships will still be going in there. Thankfully, no injuries were reported, and the ship was not significantly damaged and went on its way. Back on December 30th, a lifeboat broke free from the Carnival Dream in the Gulf of Mexico, and they tried to recover the lifeboat and failed to do so, and so it was abandoned at sea and will be replaced during the next refurbishment of the Carnival Dream. On a recent modified cruise itinerary due to bad weather, Royal Caribbean's Empress of the Sea rescued 2 men stranded at sea for 20 days. They were fishermen that had sailed out of Puerto Limon, Costa Rica. They fell asleep on their boat and the winds took them way out of their area and they ended up running out of gas. The fishermen had enough food and water for about 7 days. Water became one of the crucial issues, and by the time they were rescued by Empress of the Seas, one of them couldn't walk. But anyway, they were rescued. They're all doing better now. MSC's newest ship, the Bellissima, scheduled to debut in March, will have 32 food and drink venues on board. If you'd like to get more information on the Bellissima, who will sail mostly in Europe and the Middle East, just leave me a comment below. Carnival Cruise Line announced last week that they'll be rolling out a new room service menu in mid-January, and basically it eliminates the complimentary room service. They're not going to be charging from $2 to $5 for most everything on the room service menu. Then, just to complicate the issue, just yesterday, Carnival announced that they're putting that decision on hold. So, who knows what's happening with the room service menu? I guess we'll know by mid-January if they make changes or don't. Also last week, on the morning of January 3rd, a number of Gulf Coast ports had cruise ships that were delayed in their arrival times due to heavy fog. There were ships affected in Tampa, Mobile, and New Orleans, all delayed because of fog. That about wraps up this episode of Cruise Industry News. And remember, if you'd like to keep up with news in the cruise industry, join us again next Monday for the next episode of Cruise Industry News. If you'd like to keep up with the latest in videos on cruise ships and ports of call, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Click on that little bell notification system so you'll be notified as soon as we post something new. And hopefully, we'll get together on a cruise real soon.